After I was born in the jail cell, my mother and my father were sentenced to 100 years each in prison. I spent decades trying to get my parents out of prison, and they came home when I was nearly 40 years old. My name is Mike Africa Jr. I'm from West Philly, and I'm the legacy director for the MOVE organization. The thing that people should know about MOVE is that the punishments that they got didn't fit any crime they committed. John Africa was my great uncle, and he was the founder of the MOVE organization. The mission of MOVE is to protect life, people, animals, and the environment. We protested a lot. We were protesting City Hall, we go to judges' houses, and eventually it got to the point where, talking to the police, MOVE said, if you come at us with sticks, we'll fight you with sticks. You come at us with bats, we'll fight you with bats. If you come in here shooting at us, we will shoot you dead. But in the city of Philadelphia in the 70s, we had a mayor by the name of Frank Rizzo. This guy was the most racist, brutal type of character, and Rizzo's police department raided our house. My mother was in the house, my father, my Uncle Chuck, and other MOVE members. The raid, even though it lasted for just 4 minutes, at the end of it, there was so much shooting, a bullet struck a police officer, and of course, MOVE got the blame. My mother was pregnant with me at the time, and when she was arrested, she and my father were taken to the House of Correction. And 5 weeks after that arrest, I was born in a jail cell. I used to see my parents once a year. They were charged with the killing of the police officer. The bullet that hit the officer was not determined to have been from a firearm that any MOVE member shot. There were 9 people that were convicted. They were all sentenced to 100 years, including my parents and my Uncle Chuck. But the city could never actually pin down John Africa. So finally, after years of search and trying to pin this person down, they got him. And they charged him with bomb making and terroristic threats and gun running. And John Africa was representing himself during that trial. And on July 16th, 1981, he read the closing arguments for his defense. And then a few days later, the jury found him not guilty of every single charge, and he went home. He was accused of making bombs, so they were going to put him in jail for the rest of his life. And then they used the bomb on him to murder him. I don't even know what to say about that, about how unjust that is. When the bombing of MOVE happened in 1985, I was 6 years old. I remember going outside to play and somebody saying they dropped a bomb on MOVE. And my first response was, no, they didn't. And then he pointed to the sky and showed me the smoke. And he said, that's from MOVE. There were 11 people that died in the house, and I knew them all. John Africa was my great uncle. Frank was my cousin. Rhonda was one of my kind of caregivers. The children, Birdie, Tommaso, Phil, Netta, Delisha Tree, all of them, I knew all of them. You could say MOVE was crazy. You could say MOVE was violent, but you can't say that it made sense to drop a bomb on them. You can't say that it made sense for them to be trying to escape a burning inferno house and you shoot them on their way out and then pick their bodies up and throw it back into the burning house to cover up the fact that you shot them. The heat ignited a fire. The fire department made a decision to let the fire burn, and the fire burned the entire neighborhood. The fire burned down 61 homes. 250 people were homeless in a day. The city, they said they were going to rebuild the neighborhood. They hired this contractor who built these houses so poorly that he was arrested for it. They didn't lock up the police commissioner for ordering a bomb to be dropped. They didn't lock up the fire commissioner who ordered the firefighters to let the fire burn. They didn't lock up the mayor for being present or not being present in the city's worst catastrophe in its history. But they locked up the building contractor for building a house bad. You can't make this shit up. At the root of it, the imbalance in that is why we have so many problems in the community with racism and unjust jail terms, and I think it explains why police can kill Tamir Rice and get away with it. There should be no way that a person can shoot someone, burn someone, bomb someone, and admit they did it, have hearings to show they did it. It's on video. And because they're an official, a law enforcement officer or whatever, they can say something as simple as, I feared for my life, and then their actions be justified and they be granted immunity and serve absolutely zero punishment.